Hello, everyone, and welcome again to Virtual Sunday School. So, today's lesson is a continuation of last week. So, last week we learned about how Jesus was ascended up into heaven. So, Jesus decided it was time that he go up to heaven and be with God. And so, it's been a full week since the disciples have physically seen Jesus. But you may remember last week that before Jesus left, he said that I am going to give you the gift of the Holy Spirit. Now, we know what the Holy Spirit is, but the disciples had no idea. They had never heard of the Holy Spirit before. So this is essentially the story of how the Holy Spirit was born and how the church was born because of the Holy Spirit. And so I'm going to show you from our Godly Play materials the way that we can talk about this lesson. So the lesson is about Pentecost. Let's say that together. So repeat part of it after me. Pentecost. Pentecost. Good job. One more time. Pentecost. All right. So Pentecost is a feast that happened in Jerusalem. So a lot of our stories, I feel like, have to do about a different feast. So this is not Passover. Passover is come and gone. Pentecost was another feast that the people of Jerusalem celebrated. So today is the day of Pentecost, where we remember how God gave us the gift of the Holy Spirit so that we can say and do the wonderful things that Jesus said and did. So let's go to the materials and keep talking about our lesson. All right, so here we have a table because I talked about they were going to have a feast. So Pentecost happened after Jesus went away. So the people were in Jerusalem, like I was talking about earlier, to celebrate the meal called Pentecost. So they came from all around the country. So here's a parent and child. There's a group of siblings, a couple, and another mother and child here. And then you have Jesus's friends. So Jesus's friends, here's Peter at the center. Peter helped to take over and help out a lot when Jesus left. So a few of Jesus's other friends also came and joined Peter at the table. So they were in Jerusalem and they were still waiting for the gift that Jesus had told them about that God promised to send, the gift of the Holy Spirit. And suddenly, the sound like a mighty wind filled the whole room. Have you ever experienced really high wind before, where it makes your eyes water and your hair blow back or your clothes shake around? They experienced that. So a big, mighty wind. And what looked like to be flames. There were flames all around floating with this wind. And it came to rest on them. So it just sat in the middle, the flames. And they were filled with the Holy Spirit. All the disciples were filled with the Holy Spirit. So my fingers are pretending to be flames, since we don't really want to catch this on fire. And they were excited. They were filled with the Holy Spirit and they were excited. They began to tell of the amazing things that God did. So they started walking over to these different people from different countries, and they told them about Jesus, that God raised Jesus from the dead. And all the different people from all the different countries could understand them because of the Holy Spirit. They heard in their own language. What should we do? So they asked Peter. And so Peter came around. And Peter said to them, change your ways, be baptized. And he baptized them. You will be washed, you will be clean and new. You will receive the Holy Spirit. And he said, God's promises for you and for your children and for everyone God calls. And so then all these people went out into the world and told everyone that they heard of and saw what they had seen and experienced with the gift of the Holy Spirit. So that's our story today, friends, how the Holy Spirit was essentially born. God had decided that when Jesus came back to heaven, God would like to create the Holy Spirit so that the Holy Spirit could live within us so that we could be reminded of all the wonderful things that God and Jesus had already done. And so people felt the Holy Spirit inside of their hearts, and they went out and they shared with everyone what they had learned. And so that's what I challenge you all to do this week. Share with someone what you've learned. Share with your family, your friends, maybe call someone that you miss and share with them all that you know about Jesus and all that you know about God. And then ask them, say, hey, what can you tell me about God? What can you tell me about Jesus? What do you know about the Holy Spirit? And that way you all can learn from each other the way that the disciples did and the way that Jesus wants us to do. All right, friends, I hope you have a great week, and I look forward to seeing you all online again next week for another lesson. Bye, everyone.